Picture this. Turquoise waters, Thailand, the sun, and you owning your own slice of paradise there.
Ah, the dream. It's a powerful image, isn't it? That vibrant culture, the landscapes.
Totally. But then reality kicks in. Navigating a foreign property market, it can feel, well, kind of daunting, like you're solving a puzzle in the dark.
It really can. The appeal is huge, no doubt. But yeah, you're stepping into a place with its own rules, its own ways of doing things. It's different.
Exactly. And that's precisely what we're diving deep into today. Our focus is finding those reliable experts, the people who can actually guide you, our listener, through buying property in Thailand.
Yeah, making that journey exciting, not just complicated.
Right. We're looking at a blog post today that gives some solid guidance on finding that trustworthy help.
It's got some really practical insights, actually.
Our mission, then, pretty simple. Give you actionable tips on how to find those experts, the ones who make it a success, help you avoid the common slip-ups.
Those pitfalls that can easily trip you up if you're not careful.
And this guidance, it comes from Ocean Worldwide. They're a luxury real estate agency based right in Phuket. And let's get this right from the start. It's pronounced Phuket, P-O-K-E-T.
Definitely Phuket, not Phuket. Good point to clarify.
They've been there since 2004. Sandra O'Neill is the director. She's helped literally thousands of families, investors.
Wow, thousands.
Yeah, in Phuket and over in Koh Samui too. So luxury homes, villas, that's really their focus in those spots. They know their stuff.
They really do. And, one of the first things they stress, and it really resonates, is just how valuable local experts are. It's a total game changer.
It really is. You might think, oh, just research online. And sure, the internet helps, but...
But it's just not the same, is it? That deep, on-the-ground knowledge.
Yeah.
You can't get that from a website.
So what are those big advantages then? Having that local insight right from the start.
Well, first off, it's the market knowledge. Not just general trends, but the real nuances, like what are things really worth in this specific area right now? Which places are genuinely growing versus, maybe hyped up.
Stuff you wouldn't see just looking at listings.
Exactly. And they understand the timing, the local cycles. Plus, there's the cultural side.
Ah, right. Thailand has its own distinct culture, business etiquette.
Absolutely crucial. Knowing how to navigate that, the right etiquette for negotiations, building trust with sellers, it smooths everything out. It's not just about the paperwork, it's the people.
Makes sense.
And then there's their network. Think about an agency like Ocean Worldwide in Phuket for, 2 decades now?
Since 2004, yeah.
They've built connections. That means potential access to off-market properties, the best lawyers, the right surveyors, stuff you just wouldn't find on your own. It's like having an insider track.
Definitely sounds like an advantage. Now, for someone new to buying overseas, the whole process itself, viewings, offers, paperwork, it can seem overwhelming. How do these experts simplify that?
They become your boots on the ground, essentially, especially if you're buying remotely, which a lot of people do initially.
Right. Coordinating viewings across different places.
Yeah.
That's tough from afar.
Exactly. They handle that. They manage the back and forth with sellers, the negotiations, which can get complex, and they make sure all the I's are dotted and sh's is crossed on the documents. It's a lot of the heavy lifting taken off your shoulders.
The Ocean Worldwide article breaks it down nicely. They help with property selection, first really understanding your criteria, budget, goals.
Finding what actually fits you, not just showing you everything.
Then the negotiation piece, acting as your intermediary to get a fair deal.
Skilled negotiation is key. And then the paperwork. Oh, the paperwork.
Yeah, especially in a different legal system.
For sure. They manage all that admin, drafting contracts, reviewing them, making sure they're solid under Thai law, protecting your interests, checking all the legal documents. It's a huge relief, honestly, and avoids potential mistakes.
Absolutely. Which leads us straight into legal compliance. This isn't just a nice to have, is it? Getting the legal side right in Thailand is essential.
Oh, non-negotiable. Absolutely essential. You need expert guidance here to protect your investment.
So how do agencies like Ocean Worldwide ensure that they work with lawyers, right?
Exactly. Reputable, established agencies have strong relationships with trusted property lawyers who specialize in Thai real estate law. That collaboration is vital.
So it's not just finding the dream villa, it's making sure the whole transaction is legally watertight.
Precisely. The lawyers handle the crucial legal documentation, ensuring everything meets local standards.
And title verification, that sounds incredibly important.
It's paramount, making absolutely sure the title deed is clean, legitimate, no hidden liens, no disputes brewing. That due diligence on the title itself is probably one of the most critical steps.
I can imagine the peace of mind that brings. And they help you understand the rules, too.
Yeah.
Your rights, obligations as a foreign buyer.
Yes, providing that regulatory guidance. Thai property law has its unique aspects and rules can change. Having someone who stays on top of that, explaining it clearly, it's your anchor. It ensures a smooth, secure, and legally sound purchase.
Okay, sold on the experts. But how do you find these gems? For our listeners thinking, right, I need one, how do they identify and vet them? The Ocean Worldwide Post has tips, starting with online research.
Yep, that's the logical first step, but be strategic. If your heart is set on, say, a luxury villa in Phuket,
Remember, it's Phuket.
Phuket, exactly, then search specifically for experts in luxury villas in Phuket. Don't just do a generic search. Be targeted.
Right, filter out the noise, find the specialists. An agency like Ocean Worldwide, focusing on that high-end market in Phuket and Sanai, would likely pop up then.
They should, yeah. Their
Exactly.
focus aligns directly with that kind of search. Why waste time with agents who deal in, I don't know, Bangkok condos if you want a Phuket villa?
Good point.
Yeah.
Next up, checking credentials and experience. Can't just pick someone randomly, right?
Definitely not. Check licenses. Are they legally allowed to operate? How long have they actually been in the market, especially in Phuket? Longevity often means reliability.
Like Ocean Worldwide being there since 2004, that's a solid history.
It demonstrates stability, deep local roots. But it's not just years, it's results. Ask for examples of past deals.
Similar to what I'm looking for.
Exactly. If you want that luxury villa, ask, show me similar villas you've helped clients buy in Phuket recently. Verify their relevant experience.
Makes sense? And what about recommendations? Word of mouth.
Hugely powerful. If you know anyone who's bought there, especially in Phuket or Samui, ask them. And online reviews, take them with a pinch of salt, maybe, but look for pattern.
Patterns, like
Right.
consistent complaints.
Yeah, one bad review could be anything. But if you see multiple people mentioning the same issue, poor communication, dodgy advice, whatever, that's a definite red flag. Proceed with caution.
Got it. So it's not just about qualifications on paper. It's finding someone who gets your needs and really knows that local Phuket market.
That's the key combo. Proven competence, relevant track record like in Phuket luxury villas, and that deep local knowledge. That's your indispensable expert. Now, this leads to something equally vital the blog mentions. Getting proper legal help.
Right. The Ocean Worldwide article is very clear. Getting a good property lawyer isn't optional. It's a must-have for navigating the legal side in Thailand.
Absolutely. It's not just about shuffling papers. A good lawyer understands the deep intricacies of Thai property law, which can be really different from what you're used to back home.
So what are the key things a lawyer helps a foreign buyer with? Due diligence comes up first.
Yes, that thorough check. Is the property legally sound? No hidden debts or claims against it. And crucially, does the seller actually have the clear right to sell it? The lawyer digs into all of that.
Okay, essential. Then contracts.
Critical. They need to be drafted or reviewed meticulously. Ideally, have them in both Thai and your own language so there's zero confusion about any terms or conditions. Everyone needs to be on the same page.
Clarity is key. And what about the rules on foreigners actually owning property? That's a big one.
Huge. The blog mentions the 49% rule for condos. Can you break that down?
Sure. So in any single condominium building, foreigners, collectively, can own up to 49% of the total sellable unit space. The other 51% has to be owned by Thai nationals or Thai companies. It's a hard limit.
Good to know if you're looking at condos. But what about land? Can foreigners own land directly? That question comes up constantly.
It does. And the basic answer is no. Foreigners generally can't own freehold land in their own name.
So how do they manage long-term control, like for a villa?
Leasehold. That's the common way.
Mhm.
The Ocean Worldwide article mentions this. You get a long-term lease on the land, often 30 years, potentially renewable, but you need to understand those lease terms, the renewal process, inside out. That's where your lawyer is vital again.
Okay, so leasehold provides usage and control, but it's not the same as owning the land outright. Are there common legal mistakes foreigners make? The article warns about some pitfalls.
Yes, definitely things to watch out for. One is misunderstanding that ownership distinction, owning the building but leasing the land. Need total clarity on that from day one.
Right. Don't assume you own the land if it's a villa on a lease.
Another big one, skipping proper due diligence. Maybe you find a place in Phuket, fall in love, want to move fast.
The temptation to cut corners.
Exactly. But failing to do the full checks, legal and physical, can lead to nasty surprises later. Hidden debts, title problems, big risks.
Just not worth the gamble on such a big investment. And the last warning.
Ignoring legal advice. Trying to save money by DIYing the legal side of a foreign property deal, that could cost you far, far more down the track if something goes wrong. Get the lawyer.
Solid advice.
Yeah,
Okay, let's shift to the market itself. Thailand's property market, it has its own pulse, right? Trends, prices.
it really does. The Ocean Worldwide Post stresses researching Thai market trends, not just applying what you know from home. They mention, for instance, growing demand for condos, both from locals and internationals, especially in tourist hotspots.
Interesting. And despite global wobbles, places like Phuket and Samui have held up pretty well, haven't they? Especially for villas.
They seem resilient, yeah. For investors listening, where are the promising spots?
Well, the article specifically flags Phuket, gotta say, right? And Koh Samui, especially for villas.
Why villas particularly?
The beaches, the tourism appeal, they're great for personal use, obviously, but also offer strong potential for rental income from tourists. Ocean Worldwide, being focused there, would have good insights on specific investment opportunities.
So whether it's a holiday home or an income generator, Phuket and Samui are key areas. What about different property types and potential returns? Does the article touch on that?
It does suggest that luxury villas, especially in those prime spots in Phuket and Samui, often offer potentially better returns.
Higher-end tourists, higher rental rates.
That seems to be the logic, yeah. Attracting that premium market segment. So if maximizing ROI is the main goal, looking at luxury villas could be a smart strategy.
Definitely need to match the property type to your goals. Now, due diligence. We talked legal checks, but the Ocean Worldwide Post goes broader. What else does thorough due diligence involve?
It's multi-layered. Physical inspections are huge. Not just a quick look, but a deep dive into the building's condition.
Structure, plumbing, electrics, potential water issues, stuff that could cost a fortune to fix later if you miss it.
Exactly. And if you're buying remotely, the post suggests getting detailed video tours or even having a trusted local person inspect it for you. Smart idea.
Very practical.
Yeah.
And back to titles again, verifying ownership.
Can't stress it enough. Rigorously confirm that title deed is legit, clear, no claims against it. Any problems here can become massive legal headaches, even risk your ownership.
Okay. And assessing other risks, like zoning or environmental rules.
Yes, that's part of it too. Understand local zoning. What can you actually do with the property? Any restrictions? Environmental regs. And if it's a new build or off-plan, check the developer's reputation thoroughly. Homework here prevents future pain.
It's about getting the full picture, warts and all, before you commit. Okay, found the property, done the checks, now negotiation. How does having an expert help get a fair deal?
A good agent, like the ones at Ocean Worldwide who know Phuket inside out, brings that crucial market knowledge. They know what things are really selling for.
Comparable sales data.
Exactly. They use that to help you make a competitive offer that's still fair. They act as your advocate, handle the back and forth, especially useful if there are language or cultural barriers. Having that grasp of true market value is absolutely key.
Knowing if it's a buyer's or seller's market in, say, the luxury villa segment in Phuket, that gives you leverage.
Your agent provides that intel. They guide your strategy. And remember, a fair deal isn't just the price.
Right. What else?
The terms, who pays for repairs, what fixtures are included, closing costs. It's the whole package that needs to be right for you.
Makes sense. And the article mentions, if listeners are curious about, say, a 3-bed villa in Layan, Phuket.
Remember Phuket.
Right, Phuket.
Yeah.
Reaching out to an agency like Ocean Worldwide is a good starting point for that kind of specific search, given their focus and history there.
Definitely. Okay, let's talk money, financing. For foreigners eyeing villas in Phuket, what are the options?
The blog post mentions a few avenues. Some local Thai banks, like Bangkok Bank or UOB, might offer loans to qualified non-residents, though maybe fewer options than for locals.
Okay.
International mortgages from your home country or other financial hubs are another possibility. And sometimes, developers offer their own financing, especially for new projects.
So options exist, but need investigation, and understanding the loan terms is critical, right?
Absolutely. Interest rates, the repayment schedule, how many years, the monthly cost, and crucially, any penalties if you want to pay it off early. Getting advice from a financial advisor experienced in international property finance is highly recommended.
Good call. And currency exchange, that's a big factor too. Transferring money, dealing in Thai baht.
Yeah, you need to manage that. The Ocean Worldwide article brings up the FETF, the Foreign Exchange Transaction Form. What's that about?
The FETF. Basically, it's often required by Thai banks when you bring in larger sums of foreign currencies, specifically to buy property. It documents that the money came from overseas legally for that purpose.
Why is that important?
Compliance, mainly. But also, if you sell later and want to take the money out of Thailand, having that FETF trail helps prove the funds originated legally from abroad. Your lawyer or bank can guide you on getting it sorted.
Good to know. And obviously, watching exchange rates and transfer fees is just smart money management.
Okay.
Coming purchase, complete, you own the property. What happens next? Post-purchase life?
Right, ownership comes with ongoing stuff. The article suggests using a local property management company, especially if you're not living there full time.
Makes sense. For maintenance, repairs, maybe handling rentals.
Exactly. They take care of the day-to-day, manage bills, find tenants if needed. It gives peace of mind, especially if you're miles away.
And costs don't stop at the purchase price. There are ongoing taxes and fees.
Yep. Property taxes, usually based on the official assessed value. Plus, maybe fees for garbage collection, community upkeep if it's in a development. Got a budget for those recurring costs.
And thinking long-term, resale or rental.
Keep the place well maintained that protects its value. Stay aware of market trends in your area, like Phuket. The article even notes more Thai buyers are getting into high-end properties in places like Phuket now, which is interesting market info.
Definitely good to know for the future. Okay, we've covered a lot. Let's circle back to avoiding mistakes. The Ocean Worldwide Post flags a few key ones. What about leaseholds and thinking long-term?
Right, leases. While they make entry easier sometimes, you have to understand their limits, especially for inheritance. Unlike a freehold condo with a title deed you can usually will to heirs, a lease has a fixed term. Passing it on might be more complicated or restricted. Big difference if legacy is important.
Crucial distinction based on your long-term plans. And we keep saying it, but legal help is vital for everything.
Can't overstate it. Not just for the purchase, but for things like drafting a proper Thai will for your assets there, understanding all contract clauses.
And title deed searches, the article mentions doing thorough ones, maybe even a private land survey. Why a survey?
Well, sadly, title fraud, though not common, can happen. Or sometimes the actual land size or boundaries don't quite match the official documents. A private survey by a licensed surveyor gives you independent confirmation, prevents boundary fights later, or issues over land area discrepancies. A small cost for potentially big peace of mind. Makes sense. Now, let's dig into the agent's role again. What specific value does a local agent in, say, Phuket bring?
That deep local knowledge again. They know which neighborhoods are hot, where the investment potential is, what rental yields look like. Plus, they bridge the language and culture gap, which can be huge.
Streamlines things massively. But choosing the right agent is key. How do you vet them properly?
The article suggests get recommendations, research online, look for specialists, maybe someone focused on luxury beachfront in Bangpur, Phuket, if that's your niche. Check credentials, read testimonials, look at their online presence.
And talk to them.
Yes, interview a few agents, get a feel for their expertise, communication style. Do they get what you want? Do you click?
Trust your gut, too. And fees. Need clarity there.
Definitely. The Post mentions 3 to 5% of the purchase price is typical in Thailand. But get it in writing.
A clear contract outlining services, the commission, payment schedule, any extra costs. Transparency upfront prevents problems later.
Absolutely. A good local agent is really your partner in this.
Okay, wrapping up. Let's focus on mitigating risk overall. The Ocean Worldwide article ties it all together.
It does. Hiring that reputable, experienced agent, especially one rooted in your target market like Ocean Worldwide in Phuket, is your guide through the complexities. They offer insights into laws, areas, opportunities.
And doing your own homework is crucial too. Research the laws, the market trends in your area, the financial side. Empowers you to make informed choices. Spot potential red flags yourself. And finally, the non-negotiable. Get that expert legal help. Ensures documents are sound, you understand everything.
So the formula seems clear, right? Professionals plus thorough research plus legal oversight equals mitigated risk. Then you can focus on finding that dream Thai property.
Exactly. So thinking about everything we've covered, for you, our listener, starting to explore the Phuket market, remembering it's Phuket, who do you think should be your very first expert contact? And what's the single most important question you should ask them right off the bat? Something to really ponder as you begin.
A great question to kickstart the journey. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into finding the right experts for buying property in Thailand.
We've really covered the vital role of local real estate pros, like the team at Ocean Worldwide in Phuket. Yes, Phuket, not Phuket. And skilled lawyers in making the process smoother and safer, especially in prime spots like Phuket.
We genuinely hope these insights and the advice shared today help you as you think about your own property dreams in Thailand.
Yeah, definitely take some time to mull over how this information applies to your situation, your budget, what you're looking for.
And hey, we always want to hear from you. Got thoughts, experiences, more questions about buying in Thailand? Let us know. Your feedback is great.